Hello.
Howdy. Kerblam.
With an exclamation point.
Kerblam! Oh, sorry.
Kerblam!
Sorry, that's...
I don't think it's as cool as Boomtown though. I think
No, Boomtown's better.
I liked when oh yeah, spoilers. I liked when Jake said Boomtown.
Yeah. I miss Jake.
Yeah. Yeah, come back, Jake. Come back.
We need you. We need you to salvage our sanity, because we want to watch something we actually enjoy.
Or at least watch you get angry at Rose, which is better than watching Series 11, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because at least that's entertaining, right?
Yeah.
At least it's actually written with some, you know, ideas, and
Yeah.
at least there's soap opera elements that can produce
Something, be it positive or negative.
Yeah.
There's something
And
there.
at least there is actually a reason for why characters are the way they are.
Yep.
And there's actually drama, and there is actually motivations, and there's actually realistic goals, and
There's actual...
And Billie Piper is actually a very, 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 very good actress, and she's very watchable in pretty much anything she does. More than I can say
Penny
for...
Dreadful.
More than I can say for
Penny Dreadful.
some of the actors on this show that we're watching at the moment.
Initial reaction to Kerblam.
I think this episode is very overrated. Because I know a lot of people really liked this episode, but no, there are some really good ideas, but it's held back again. It's held back by this horrible veil that is the Series 11 formula.
Aesthetic and
Yeah.
style.
Yeah. This should have, this, I said this last time about Demons of the Punjab, this should have been a classic, with its ideas.
Yeah.
This industry planet is such an awesome visually concept idea.
Because it's something you would see in Classic Who, but now they have
Yeah.
the budget to actually achieve it.
Like you look at something like the Sunmakers, right, which has a horrible budget. Like the shots of Pluto are literally just zoom-ins on a card, like they drew. But that episode explores so many. I mean, it's fucking Robert Holmes, of course it does, but it explores so many different sides of politics within industry, and it's awesome. And well, I mean, it's not I wouldn't say the Sunmakers is all-time classic, but what it does with its idea is brilliant. It's alright. At best, it's alright. The biggest problem with it is that it's in Series 11, which makes it really boring.
It's just... Even the good episodes in this series, I've reached kind of my breaking point with this series. I just have nothing to grasp onto that engages me. The Doctor is underwritten, the companions are underwritten, it doesn't feel daring enough, it doesn't feel... For a series with the first female Doctor, it doesn't even feel like it's playing it too safe, because playing it too safe, you'd think there'd be more fun with it. Just kind of simple, laid-back, fun stories. But
yeah.
even then, their version of... Well, not their...
I think playing it too safe, in a general sense, would be, sort of the way Series 7 went about it, where they did, these sort of individual stories that were just sort of based on Hollywood blockbusters.
Yeah, with their own, and if you didn't like this one, then you move on to the next one, it's a completely different tone. But these all... The problem with the writer's room here is the fact that it's being... The main thrust of it all by Chibnall is holding back every other brilliant writer who's come on here, who comes in here with creative ideas and clearly has something to bring to the table. It sort of gets neutered and chopped in half. It feels like everything... Rosa was stunted, and Demons of the Punjab was stunted, and this was stunted, where it could have been brilliant. See, my problems aren't even with the episode itself so much as it is with the series.
Yeah.
I've gotten to the point with the series where I can say that it's the direction of the series that's holding back these stories.
Yeah, I think it all comes down to Chris Chibnall. He's really fucking it up, isn't he?
It's not even that it's bad, it's just bland.
Yeah.
It's like this bread I'm eating. There's literally nothing on it.
Yeah.
It's just bread.
Yeah.
But I get more pleasure out of eating this than I do watching the show, because at least this is filling me up.
Yeah, it's easier to hate watch catastrophic Moffat than it is to watch this, because this is just bland. Nothing. It's just diet Doctor Who, really.
Not even diet. Like, it's just... I got more of a rise out of The Stranger.
That's a bit of a tangent.
That is a tangent. I'm sure we'll make a video on it later down the line somewhere.
If you know about The Stranger, you'll find that funny, but
yeah.
I'm sure 99.9% of even hardcore Doctor Who fans don't know.
It's like buried, but
yeah,
it exists.
Yeah, if you ever wanted to know what 90s Doctor Who it was like outside of the TV movie and a couple of big finishes, then yeah, look up The Stranger.
If you can find it, it's
yeah.
very...
Yeah. Woo!
Anyway.
Yes. Yeah, I got more of a rise out of you showing me that one clip from The Stranger than watching Kerblam again today.
Yeah. Same. Alright. Oh, also, it says here I'm supposed to plug the Patreon, patreon.com/GenesisAdventuresArmy. If you want to support us, thank you very much. We appreciate it. We do. I nearly dropped my bread rolls.
Yes, it helps us get through videos like this.
Yeah, and it also helps us improve and grow and be able to do stuff like the Advent calendar.
Yes, Advent calendar, which I've been working away at, and hopefully it all goes to plan, because I think that would be brilliant if we got out 25 consecutive videos.
And then went on a 6-month hiatus.
No. I actually plan to have one out on the 1st of January.
Cool. I'm not even... I'm sure you've told me, but I blanked on what
No,
it
I
is.
haven't told you.
Oh.
No, I've been thinking about this for a while. And yeah, it's going to be interesting when it comes out.
Short or long? Or can you don't want to...
Short video.
Okay.
It's a short video.
Okay.
It's more of a question.
Peculiar.
Mm.
It's just going to be 2 minutes of you going, Doctor Who? Doctor Who? Man, Good Man Goes to War is shit.
No, that was Wedding of River Song.
Oh, even worse.
Good Man Goes to War is...
Not the blam. Let's stay on topic.
Yeah. We'll get to Good Man Goes to War when we get to that. I'll say what I think about it then. If you want to know what I actually think about it, though, watch my DVD collection video and skip to about it'd be probably like 2 hours.
2 hours and 10 minutes in?
No, it'd be like 2.5 hours. Because it's a 3-hour video, so 2.5 hours, you'll probably get around about Series 6. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that. Because I do.
Also check out Day 2 and comment.
Oh yeah, story time.
Way. But also like a review and stuff.
I just want to say that was lovely.
Thank you.
I actually never thought I would I enjoyed editing that more than any of the Series 11.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Reviews, so yeah.
Hopefully you all enjoyed that as well, and other stuff we're doing for the Advent.
Yes.
Hopefully goes all to plan. The Doctor.
In Kerblam.
Mm-hmm.
Too much Sonic. Didn't get involved in the plot at all. Really passive. Just usual Series 11 bullshit. It's bad. It just makes me sad. The Doctor is a character now that I don't care about.
I noticed something. When the Doctor was getting up in the faces of the business people and the guy at the end and being all confrontational, it wasn't doing anything for me, and I was wondering why. Because I was picturing Matt Smith saying this line, Colin Baker saying these lines, any other Doctor saying these lines. I could see it being quite intense and believable. Yeah. But with Jodie, I was wondering, what is it that's not clicking with me? Then I realized the way she's been presented is not that it's an ancient, grumpy, angry, and broken old soul pretending to be childlike. It's a childlike soul pretending to be tough. Mm. So it doesn't come across as believable to me, because in the sparse moments where she stands up to people, that feels like a front as opposed to her genuinely letting her confrontational and big personality out. It feels like her being goofy and childlike is just, that's the real her, as opposed to it having more complexity to it. It just, they don't feel like the same character, and it doesn't work for me.
Yeah, and I understand he doesn't want to have the baggage of previous eras hanging over the character, but
Nor
still.
should he, but just...
Because I know that this is supposed to be sort of the fresh start where there's no references to the Time War or even the classic series. It's supposed to be this sort of new beginning, but still, like, there isn't anything about this new version of the Doctor that's that interesting.
No.
Yeah.
And, like, the thing is, if you're a new person coming into the show, the fact that she's a woman now is not going to be enough, because you wouldn't have that previous knowledge and that previous understanding of what this character was beforehand. So this big shift, other than knowing that it's a woman now, you're not going to see the change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's... To a new viewer, I don't see how this character is going to jump out at everyone like, what's your name? Rose. Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life.
Yeah.
We never had that.
Yeah.
There's not that spark, you know? And it's purely down to the writing. Jodie's being really let down, which is really annoying.
Or even that scene with Matt Smith and little Amy in the kitchen, where he's like eating fish fingers and custard. You know?
Exactly. And she says, you're all wet. And he says, I've come from the swimming pool. And she said, I thought you said you were in the library. The swimming pool is in the library.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
fun. But, like, it didn't seem like just surface level. Like, it just... Especially in that episode, because he was still figuring himself out.
Yeah.
The quirk doesn't define the Doctor. The quirk is a part of the Doctor.
Yeah, and I think I've heard someone point out, and I was never thought about it before, but I now exactly understand what they're saying. Is one of the problems is with Jodie's Doctor especially is that her quirkiness is self-aware, and that's not what made the Doctor funny before.
No.
Like when you look at Tom Baker, the reason why he was so funny is because he was quirky, but he didn't know it.
Yeah.
Whereas she is self-aware, like 100% that she's being quirky. And that's not funny.
Mm.
And also on top of that, the writing's not funny.
There was one line in this that made me laugh, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, it was Lee Mack, who we'll get on to. Saying, oh, how old, like, Yaz was saying, oh, how old's your daughter? And he says something along the lines of, she's 6. And she's like, oh, where is she now? And he says, oh, he's up 6 floors. She's the head of marketing, or something like that. That made me laugh. But that's purely because Lee Mack is a very funny man. And then they didn't do anything with him.
Yeah.
Imagine if he was the villain. Then again.
That would work in a Mark Gatiss story, I reckon.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else to say about the Doctor?
I'll get more into it next time, because I'll compare and contrast the Kerblam with the Witchfinders.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got things to say about that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's it.
Okay. Ryan.
So he overcame his dyspraxia and went down a slide.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah. But apart from that, I mean, he didn't really do anything. He had a nice purple vest on. That was cool.
Purple suited him.
Yeah.
He looks good in purple.
Yeah.
All right. Graham.
Graham was his usual funny Bradley Walsh self, like making things that wouldn't be funny quite funny, because Bradley Walsh is hilarious. But apart from that, like I said, same thing with Ryan. He really didn't do much, did he?
No.
He had a little, funny confrontation with the robots, and it was like, give me a break. But that's about it.
Yeah.
Mild entertainment.
Mild comic relief.
Yep.
Yasmin.
I'm trying to remember.
She had a little bit more to do because she was with the Lee Mack character.
Yeah, she was asking the right questions. She
Yeah.
had a little bit of tension with the robots. It's like I said, it was small doses of Doctor Who.
And then at the end, she is the one saying, "Hey, can we drop this off to his daughter?"
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that basically what we got was she was playing a role that you would see in a Doctor Who story, but what we got was small doses of it, as opposed to lots of it, which is what we should be getting.
Yeah.
Like, it was basically like a teaspoon of the robots of death.
And the thing, yes, exactly. And the thing that's frustrating is we really aren't spending much time on these characters because everything we could say, we literally have said everything in previous episodes, pretty much every episode this season. They have potential to be something interesting, but they're let down by the direction this series is going in. That's basically all we can say. Other than, like, there are a few, like, very, very, very small character elements introduced. But that's seemingly just the beginning and end, so they have a loose arc, like with the Ryan and Graham relationship, which hopefully will have some resolution in the next couple of episodes. But there's just nothing there for any of them. Like, and I was saying to Connor on the way here, what's their relationship between them? Like, we have that tension between Ryan and Graham, sort of, but there's no real tension between them. It's
See, the only character from this team that actually anchored this down was Grace, but she's dead, so she's...
You know what would have been great? Get rid of Ryan, get rid of Yasmin, just have the Doctor and a married couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, a middle-aged married couple flying around space.
Yeah.
That would be great.
That would have been fantastic, but I guess you could have young kids, don't you?
I suppose. But do you have to if they're really boring?
I don't know.
And why did it have to be 20th century Earth again? 21st century Earth, rather.
Was it? I thought this was in, like, the far future or something.
No, I mean the companions, where they're from.
Oh, right, sorry, I thought you were talking about... Because they've got to be relatable, I guess.
You can make characters relatable and not have them from...
Can you?
Yeah, I think so.
Like who?
Let me think. I'm sure I can think of someone.
Oh, Vicky. Yeah, Vicky. That would be the big example, because she's from an alien planet in the future, and she's very relatable.
Mm-hmm. Jamie.
Is he relatable, though? Because he's very likable, but is he relatable?
But there's the thing. If they're not relatable, then they should at least be likable.
Mm.
And these characters aren't... These characters are likable on the fact that they're not unpleasant, not the fact that they are endearing and charismatic.
Yeah, if I went to a workplace, I'd like to work with them, because they're...
I'd like to work with Graham.
Yes. Yes, especially if it was...
The other two, like... What's their personality?
Okay. I like to work with Graham if I was working in, like, my dream job. Whereas if I was working in, like, retail, I'd want to work with Ryan and Yaz.
Because they look like they'll just get on with business. And
yeah. And crack a few jokes here and there, I guess.
That wouldn't be funny.
No.
Because they'd be written by Chibnall.
No. You know what they need? Like, Ryan and Yasmin, like, need to look around the TARDIS and find, like, a stash of David Tennant's cocaine. And just, like, suddenly become really interesting, you know?
Yeah. Find a bit of that leftover Russell T Davies fairy dust.
Like, you know how Jodie in this episode got the fez? Like, they need to get a Kerblam delivery of David Tennant's cocaine.
Just open up the box and just a big pile of white powder comes out.
Oh, what's this?
Then Jodie says, "Oh, never mind, lad."
Maybe that's what it takes your way is going to be about.
They're all just incredibly high.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I need some more of that, you know? I'm just looking forward to getting back to that with Jake, because that's just going to be fun.
Jake will be coming back.
Yes.
We just don't know when.
Cybermen!
Oh yeah, because he's still left on a cliffhanger.
Oh fuck, that cliffhanger is so funny when, what's his face, Lumic calls him up and he's like, "It seems I have crashed the party."
Oh man, even the camp stuff from them was amazing.
Delete. 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 And then fucking Rose is a dog in the parallel universe.
And then there's Mickey and Ricky.
Oh.
Which one are you? Which one are you?
Nothing from Series 11 has even fucking come close to Rise of the Cybermen Age of Steel.
No. And that's not even nostalgia. Like, I rewatched that two-parter, like, last week.
Yeah.
Into it.
It's
like,
amazing.
Yeah.
I know the Cybermen aren't as great as they are in the 60s, but still, it's so good. Such a good episode.
It's fun.
Yeah.
And dark, and the characters are interesting.
The world building's great in it, too.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah. it almost prefaces Torchwood in a way as well. Like the whole group that Mickey's with and that feel like a Torchwood group.
They feel like
they feel more like Torchwood than Torchwood does.
Yeah,
because they've actually got like this cool like van.
Yeah.
Whereas the Torchwood car's kind of cringy.
Torchwood Series 1 is cringy. Torchwood Series 2 is
pretty good. It's pretty good. And then Miracle Day. Wait till we get to that. Back to Kerblam. What were we up to?
Judy Maddox.
So was that the short-haired woman?
Yes, I think so.
Wait,
oh no, yeah, Judy Maddox, because the other one would have been Kira.
But who's Jarvis Slade?
Who the fuck was Jarvis Slade? We just watched this episode, by the way.
I assume Judy Maddox is the old woman because she was introduced first.
Yes, and I think you do these in order.
Judy is usually a, well, that makes no sense, but it's I usually associate Judy with old women, but then again,
Judy Garland.
But then again, she's an old woman in the future, so that doesn't make any sense because she would have been young and called Judy. I don't know. Anyway.
Hey, Judy.
Okay, let's give our thoughts on that character first, and then if it's in the wrong order, I'll reorder it.
You'll re-edit it to make it look like we got it right.
Yeah, so I thought that she was, the actress was good enough, but the character was, She served a purpose in the plot, and she said some stuff. And she did some exposition about explaining about Kerblam.
Just like every other side character except for Rosa.
Yeah, but I do think that she was... she's the kind of person that you would see if you went into one of those places. Like, she seems like the kind of person that you would... Like, if you went on a school tour of Kerblam, she'd be the one to show you around.
Yeah. She's the, like... Yeah, friendly face.
Yeah,
I lost track halfway through because I was thinking about David Tennant in Rosa, and he's like, I heard the name Rosa, and he's like, Rosa. Good name.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like in Rosita, in the not the two
Next
doctors.
Doctor.
Next Doctor.
Yeah.
Stand by. The one, the only, and the best.
David Morrissey's a better doctor than Jodie. Sadly.
But David Morrissey would have been amazing as the Doctor. He was.
Yeah.
Fuck. And his costume was so cool. It's a shame that it turned into shit when the Cybermen shit started happening. But, like... David Morrissey should have been the Doctor.
It was Russell's third Doctor. Like...
Yeah, it was his John Hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh. You don't want to say anything more about that character?
She was functional. Like, she just wasn't much of a... Like, she had certain character moments, but they didn't do enough with her to make me just feel anything or get anything out of her. Dan Cooper, who I think was the Pinstripe Van Staten boring version of... That was grammatically wrong, but you know what I mean.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What can I say? Shit!
He was just nice Van Staten.
I mean, he got nerve pinched by Jodie.
Venusian Akira.
Oh, look at me. I'm a caricature of the third Doctor. And a caricature of the 11th Doctor.
And the 10th.
And the 10th.
I haven't seen any of the 9th yet, except for the Northern accent.
Yeah, well... And she's like Davison in the fact that she doesn't really have a character.
And she's blonde.
She's blonde. And doesn't get involved in the story.
Well, she does, but...
And she's like the 7th Doctor because she's short.
Is she short?
Yeah, she's the shortest Doctor by like 1 centimetre. Because McCoy is just taller.
But she also wears big boots, so if they stood next to each other, she'd probably be taller.
7th Doctor, yeah.
How tall was Patrick Troughton?
Taller than McCoy.
Ah.
But like, Pertwee is
very tall. Yeah.
I think the tallest is Tom. I think Tom's like 6'5".
Really?
Yeah.
I suppose because we never saw them together.
Tom is like the size of a rugby lock. He's very tall.
No wonder he has such a big booming voice with all that space.
Yeah.
Tom Baker.
Don't forget, Doctor Who YouTube channel. Now.
And he went up to the great green blob and he sucked it off.
I'm a very enthusiastic drinker, I'll tell you.
You know, I wanted to be a monk, but then I realized, fuck it, it's not for me.
No, I want to make love with Lala. Anyway, is the next one the Kira, whatever her name is?
Kira, no, we've missed someone called Java Slade.
I don't know who Java Slade is.
Oh, was he the dude? The dad dude?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait, was Dan Cooper the dad and Java Slade the businessman?
Okay, we'll talk about that character. So, as you said, the actor is slightly charming, but he was misused and not used.
Yeah, Lee Mack is... Because I watch a British panel show called...
This reminded me of, the guy from Art Malik, from The Ghost Monument.
Yeah. All of the guest stars have been wasted!
Yeah.
Can you think of a guest star?
Oh, well.
Well, I haven't seen The Witchfinders yet.
Yeah, you haven't seen The Witchfinder. Yeah, now 110% the best guest star is whatever his name is.
Alan Cummings.
He's the best thing about Series 11, maybe aside from Graham and maybe Grace, but...
I was slightly disappointed when I heard he'd be playing a guest star because it meant he's less likely to become the Doctor.
Yeah, that's sad. But honestly, as King James, I was like, what? Where was this when we watched fucking Arachnids in the UK or Sarangan? Where was this? Why have we not gotten an actor like this yet, or a performance or a writing? Like, I was like, holy shit, this guy's camp. Like, what the fuck? He does not belong in Series 11.
He's actually got like energy.
Yeah, he's actually a character, like in like a fictional world. Not boring old fucking Chibnall Sheffield, which every planet in the universe now is.
Chipfield.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, you haven't seen that yet. You got that to look forward to.
Hey.
The guy, whoever that was.
Yeah, because I watch a British panel show called Would I Lie to You? And he's one of the hosts, like one of the team captains on it. And he's one of the quickest and sharpest, like pun-making, like wittiest minds. He's so funny.
Yeah.
And he told the story once about how he got advice when he was starting out as a stand-up comedian. He was getting advice from people on what do you do, like how do you warm up a crowd, and you usually go to like, you go up to, where you from? Talking to someone in the front row, and they say from Wales, and you make a sheep noise, and so on and so forth. Like that kind of call and response, quick, like making fun of their hometown. And he says, hopefully, if you get someone say they're from Kent, then you say, what do you call me? Like, but he said he got really drunk one night and completely forgot the bit. Walked out, and he said, is there anyone from Kenton? And one guy said, yes. And he said, well, you're a cunt.
Oh, no. Earlier, I was going to tell you, we got interrupted by your dad or something.
Yeah.
I was going to tell you about that episode of Mr. Bean.
Yeah.
Where he's in the hotel, right?
Yeah.
So this is the one where he's copying that other guy. And, like, the other guy's in the hotel room next to him, and he fucking locks his bathroom from the inside because he creates a hole.
Yes.
And then, but the funniest part is when they go to eat, and he, like, takes the same food but double.
Yeah.
And then he has all those bad oysters. And it fucking does. You know the shot from Heaven Sent where Capaldi realizes he has to punch the glass? It's the same shot. He's holding the oysters, and he's like...
You should do a side-by-side comparison.
And then it's fucking like he's sick, and then at night he's having bad dreams, and then he sees the guy who was keeping his copying up, and he's like,
that's right.
And it shows like disgusting shots of him drinking the oysters. Like,
Bean.
Oh, fuck me. Watching this after seeing Mr. Bean is such a travesty.
I know, Mr. Oh. Anyway, Lee Mack, wasted. He's a very funny man, and he was wasted in this role. Like, I don't mind having comedians do serious roles, but the fact that he was like the expendable character who died.
This wasn't a serious role, though. This was a dull role.
Yeah, like the fact that he was talking about his daughter and he was a bad father and bad husband, blah 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 blah, and they could have done something with him. He's the only one who they established.
Yeah, but do you know what the problem is? for me, I'm gonna sound like I'm mean because I'm judging, but I didn't care because I didn't find either of their personalities interesting. So like, I get like I'm supposed to relate and be like,
Nope.
okay, it's kind of sad that you and your daughter have this story, but it's like I don't actually find either of you that interesting.
But there was an opportunity there for that character to have a bit of an arc if he became like a side character throughout the whole thing. But instead, he was the one they killed off when he was the guest star and the most energetic thing about the episode.
The reason why it's so compelling to watch Wilfred talk about Donna in The End of Time is because we know about their personalities. We care about their personalities, right? And I guess that's a bit different because there's like a whole series to build that up. But, I mean, in one episode, both Wilfred and Donna have those personalities.
Compare that to all the side characters in Midnight.
Yeah.
All the side characters in Turn Left.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
Oh, the
but
Italian guy.
Like, he's super optimistic, but you can tell he's just, it's all a front because he's frightened. But he's just he's like the heart of his family, so he's keeping them alive by sing songs and keeping everyone energetic. And he says, "You open oven, you warm. You open fridge, you cold. It's good." He's so like friendly and lovely in the worst of times.
Yeah.
And he's a great character. And then he gets sent off to a fucking concentration camp because Turn Left is fucked up. And that character, he's only in about 3 scenes, but he's got.
You know, I think when Series 4 came around, Russell's like, okay, the show is bulletproof. I'm just gonna write Big Finish. And he wrote Midnight and Turn Left.
Yep, pretty much, yeah. Oh, man. Mesmerizing TV.
Yep.
But yeah, these characters, all these side characters, there's been a thing with all of Series 11 where they're all fucking boring.
Yep, pretty much. There's Kira Alu, who was his daughter, right?
No, I don't think she was his daughter. She was the one who popped the bubble rap.
Right. Oh,
I don't think that was.
Sorry, I got so confused watching this episode because I'm like, there's been one other girl in this story, so that must be who he's talking about. But then obviously
No, she was off on a different planet.
Oh well. Yeah. Why would I care about his character then? I haven't even met her.
Because.
Anyway, Kira Alu was because she was the guy who was the evil kid fancied her or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so her introduction scene I remember on first viewing I was interested in slightly, but then nothing happened and then she died, and so it's kind of like the first scene with her was alright, and then the last scene with her I liked, like when she popped the bubble.
That was excellent.
Yeah, that one scene is like suddenly I'm like, whoa, this is great,
And then immediately.
yeah. But everything that happened in the middle, like I don't know even know if anything did happen in the middle. Yeah, basically, like I said, I'm gonna say with a lot of these characters, A, this needed more time, and B, this just needed more energy. Like just
As you say, it needs that Russell fairy dust / tenant cocaine.
exactly, or even just like even classic style fairy dust, you know?
Yeah. Pushing people into acid baths and having horrible
Like
little
even if the
slug
characters
creatures.
are like really cartoonish, like they are in some classic stories, at least it's watchable.
Like the Pirate Planet, the bad guy in that just yells all the time, but it's so funny.
Like I think the main reason why Doctor Who is so attractive to me, especially when I was a kid, is there was no sort of connection when it came to family shows because there was either really, 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 really cartoonish kids shows or really, really, really dull adult shows.
Yeah.
And then Doctor Who for me was great because it was this bridge between them where you could have
There was emotional maturity,
Yeah.
but there was also that silly side.
there was like not necessarily silly, but just like it had this colourful energy to it.
Yeah.
But it could also tell you a story that was beyond what you would get in a kids show. Like it was this life-changing
Yeah.
TV
And
show.
I'm really interested to see what the Sarah Jane Adventures is like, in terms of when they take the sadder or the darker elements.
I was recently listening to a podcast about like do you know the Galactic Yo-Yo podcast where he got people on to have unpopular opinions?
Yes,
Yeah.
I've heard of them. Yeah.
There was one girl who went on and said she thinks the Sarah Jane Adventures is more like Doctor Who than the Moffat era.
Well, I haven't seen it, so I
Yeah.
don't know. But
But apparently it's basically Sarah Jane Adventures is Russell T Davies writing in the mold of Classic Who for children.
Well, I've watched one episode.
Was that the one with Tennant in it? Yeah.
Oh, actually, no, I've watched two. I lie.
Oh, you what? Well, the one with Matt Smith as well. Yeah,
I watched the two Doctor episodes. And how much do you know about the death of the Doctor?
I don't. I haven't seen...
Okay. No. Just we'll get to it when we get to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Tennant one was real fun. Like, it's one of my favourite cliffhangers, where like it's all because it's the wedding of Sarah Jane. It's all leading to a point.
I think the what's going to happen is Jake's going to go into Sarah Jane and me as well, because obviously, and you even.
Yeah.
We haven't even released. That's going to be so interesting because all three of us haven't really.
We're all going to be on the same level, yeah.
Because I have seen it. Like, I've seen a couple of episodes about 10 years ago, and I don't remember them.
Yeah.
But I haven't really seen Sarah Jane Adventures.
No.
I've got this strange feeling we're all going to go and expecting it to be dumb, and it's going to be amazing.
I have a feeling it's going to kind of blow us away, yeah.
It's going to be like, whoa, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, it's cause
especially because we're going to probably be watching Torchwood at the same time, early Torchwood. So it's going to be like early Torchwood. It's going to be like Doctor Who, early Torchwood.
I mean, when we get to like that series, Doctor Who Series 4, Torchwood Children of Earth, and Sarah Jane, like Series 2, I think it is. Like, when we get to that, it's just going to be like, what a fucking great man Russell T Davies is.
We love you, Russell.
And then, like, shortly after Miracle Day in Series 6. And dead Sarah Jane as well, which is just going to be sad.
I wish Elizabeth... two people who I wish had lived longer. Nicholas Courtney.
And Elizabeth Sladen.
So they could have been in the 50th.
Yeah, instead of his daughter, who's very bland.
Yeah. Osgood has more...
Why do people listen to the fucking Unit Big Finish series?
Because it's Big Finish, so they might do a better job of it. Because Big Finish takes Big Finish takes elements that aren't treated very well and makes them better.
That's true. They apparently are taking class, and they put Ace in it and the Weeping Angels.
Well, it sounds like they've made it pretty good. Class, I mean. Charlie Duffy.
Right, so he was the kid that it turned out
the
to be
the bad guy. He's just, and like he was in the role of the Doctor.
I don't get why people thought he was a good villain.
'Cause he was anti-big business, but beyond that, where was the good character stuff? Like,
I mean,
the motivation made sense, but the personality and everything else around
the only scene I actually noticed, because he just faded in during that Graham bit, but the only scene I actually noticed anything interesting from him was when Mira died. Kira.
Mickey, Ricky, same thing.
Sorry. When Kira died, because obviously that was the best part of the episode. God, and the ending was really rushed too.
Yeah, where it's like, hey, can we get this medallion back to this guy's kid? Oh, Graham, don't pop the balloon.
Fuck, it's not as bad as the Leisure Hive, which was just like, 2 minutes before the end, the asparagus. Or, no, not even that. It was like
30 seconds
before the end, the asparagus baby's there, and Tom Hogan's like, "Oh, have a baby, goodbye."
And then the baby fucks up. Oh, I cannot believe we're talking fondly about the Leisure Hive as an alternative to what we were actually watching.
Well, admittedly, the Leisure Hive's much worse than this, but at least it's engaging in its own way.
Like the Doctor flying apart. Gator! The Kerblam bots.
So, visual elements. Yeah.
Rad. Really cool design.
Yeah.
Taking something familiar and making it slightly evil. That's what Doctor Who does great.
Someone said, why do they look like robots? Why don't they look like humans?
Too much like Autons, I guess?
I guess branding?
Yeah, but also, in terms of the logic of the creative team behind Doctor Who, they probably look too similar to Autons.
That's true, yeah. But I mean, in the story's point of view, I just
branding.
assume it's branding.
Branding, yeah.
Yeah. Like they're going for the retro look.
And they also have, with the big posters and everything.
Yeah, as opposed to going for androids, they've gone for these retro-looking robots.
Yeah, and they've got the great work team, that kind of patronizing, like, go get them, 1950s nuclear family.
It reminds me of the Robots of Death, but the Robots of Death is fucking in a different universe to this episode. The Robots of Death is like Agatha Christie done on Doctor Who.
But not like Unicorn and the Wasp.
No, because that's actual Agatha Christie.
Yeah.
I mean, like, one of her stories.
Yeah,
and it's great.
Yeah.
And it's in the Hinchcliffe era, and that's just so much better than anything Chris Gimmel's done in his life. I mean, I guess...
Broadchurch is pretty great.
I guess people love Broadchurch. I haven't really seen it.
I love Broadchurch, but I may not, now rewatching it, because I may notice elements that I didn't notice about Chibnall's. Who knows? Anyway.
Stu Bagfield says Series 2 is pointless.
It is, but Series 1 and 3 are great. Yeah. Plot.
But would you say that Broadchurch is, even though I haven't seen it, so I don't know, but would you say it's better than Hinchcliffe era Doctor Who?
No!
Exactly.
It's very competent generic cop drama. But it's like it's captivating, like it's really good, and the characters are really rich.
Yeah.
But it is fairly generic cop miniseries drama thing.
Yeah. Whereas
though Arthur Darvill's fucking awesome in it.
Oh yeah, I've only seen one episode. And he, in one scene, I was like, oh shit.
And so's David Bradley,
yeah.
and so's David Tennant, obviously, and Olivia. All the actors are great, and Jodie's great in it. Man, I wish Olivia Colman was cast as the Doctor.
Well, there was rumors that she was, and then she said no.
But she should have. She would have, she was like, if there was a woman Doctor, she was like my number one choice.
And the funny thing was, she was in the 11th hour.
I know.
Remember?
Yeah, even so, Baker and Capaldi. There are a lot of weird parallels between Baker and Capaldi.
Yeah. They both have curly hair. They both chased off the fans, in a way. They both
loved the show since its inception, and
they both went to Gallifrey in their second season. They both are very good actors.
Yes.
For their time. Like, Baker is like a great actor for the 80s, like before his time. Capaldi's just a great actor in general, like any time. They both went through like cringy phases.
And then the Doctor's also like edgy.
Yeah.
Edgy. And dark.
Yeah. I mean, Capaldi didn't choke out Clara. He should have, but he didn't. Although, to be fair, because the complaint was that the Sixth Doctor abused Perry, whereas in Series 8, Clara abused the Doctor. So
yeah.
Sort of the other way around. It's like, yeah.
No, there is a point to that.
It's the don't give a fuck 80s, and then there's like the, I guess, female dominance of modern era. So.
But it's not even that. It's just that Clara was a shitly written character.
Yeah, it's true.
It's not the fact that
because if the thing is,
because Donna is the Doctor's equal, and she's fucking awesome.
Yeah, because that's the thing. If Donna had slapped Tennant, I wouldn't have minded.
No,
but it's just the way that Clara does it to the Doctor. I'm just like,
it's aggressive. It's not like in a sense of emotional panic. It's aggressive. Like,
I'm sure Donna slaps Tennant in like Unicorn and the Wasp.
Because he's like, ginger beer, salt, too salty, too salty. Salt is too salty.
I need a shock, and then she fucking kisses him.
He's like,
Best Doctor companion kiss. Unicorn and the Wasp. Although Parting of the Ways is pretty poetic, but then again, Unicorn and the Wasp is pretty funny.
Parting of the Ways, but not Rose and the Doctor, Jack and the Doctor.
Yes, yes.
There we have it.
Yes. I wasn't much better as a coward.
Man, Jack's so great.
Oh, great comeback.
Yeah. Oh, man. There was those rumors that Jack was going to come back this season.
Oh.
It would have been terrible.
Ah.
Because not even John Barrowman could lift up this apathetic...
See, the thing is, I think a good way to parallel, like... I was just thinking about Doctor kissing companions. To parallel, like, the tone of RTD versus whatever the fuck Series 7 was, because it was Chibnall and Moffat. You look at the kiss from Parting of the Ways between Jack and the Doctor and how awesome that was. Compare that to when the Doctor kisses Rory in Dinosaurs in a Spaceship. It's just weird.
Yeah, but that was Matt Smith improvising. That wasn't actually in the script.
Yeah.
Though I wish there was footage.
I mean,
did you hear about the alternate take of Jack kissing the Doctor?
Yeah, when they
I wish there was footage of that, because that would have been hilarious.
Oh, honestly, Parting of the Ways is one of those episodes that I want to see all the footage, because they filmed so many. They filmed like 3 different endings.
Yeah.
As well. Like, I want to see what all those endings were.
Yeah, no. BBC, please. For
That whole period is so fascinating, because it's also when Eccleston decided to leave.
It's also it's so secretive. It's like,
yeah.
But please.
And it's like they didn't know there was going to be a second series.
No, yeah. So they just went all out.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's also an episode that's full of CGI as well, so there'd be interesting, like, behind the scenes.
Previs and, yeah.
Seeing how they did it and everything.
Yeah, wow. Oh, man.
What a mystical time. Whereas, like, the behind the scenes for this is just, I don't care.
Oh, and those god-awful, like, on the set, like... Have you lot seen, for the Ghost Monument, I think it is, the behind-the-scenes stuff that they do on the Doctor Who YouTube channel, where they have, like, this weird hip-hop beat YouTube poop edit of this woman giving Jodie this or that type questions? It's atrocious. And I don't know what they were thinking.
Back to Kerblam.
Writer Pete McTeague. Pete McTeague?
Well, I mean, this is his first Doctor Who story, so... what can I say? He has good ideas.
Oh, he's got great ideas. He's just held back by
He doesn't have the platform to... Because I thought this was going to be some wacky, like, 7th Doctor-esque
I was expecting something I was expecting something like Planet of the Ood, which is passable fun. But it's not really. It's just passable.
Yeah. Lame. Yeah, because Planet of the Ood was written by a writer that hadn't written before. I think his name's... Is it Keith Temple who writes that
sounds right, yeah.
I don't think he writes again.
No.
Unless I'm mistaken. I'm sure maybe there's one other he writes, like... I forget all the writers in that, like, Series 7 period. They're just a bunch of randoms that were hired because Moffat wasn't even fucking focused on Doctor Who. He's just like, throw it together.
Leading up to the 50th as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's...
You know what would have been great? Is if you had all of Series 7. Tell Clara to fuck off. First episode, it was Matt Smith and the First Doctor. Second episode was Matt Smith and the Second Doctor. Third episode was Matt Smith and the Third Doctor. Get Sean Pertwee in to play his father. Then 4th Doctor, 5th Doctor, 6th Doctor, 7th Doctor, 8th Doctor, 9th Doctor, 10th Doctor.
Well, I mean, we can't get Christopher Eccleston.
No. Well, you can have an episode... They don't all have to... Like, maybe... Like in the 5 Doctors, he gets stuck in the whole episode's about pulling him from the time warp, and they use some B-roll footage or something, and... I don't know, man. Just... Fan, wake it up. Do Prisoners of Time, but as a show, but not Adam Mitchell.
Yeah, no. I still think my idea for John Hurt being behind Asylum of the Daleks would have been so good.
Yeah.
Instead of the fuckery that we got. I haven't seen Destiny or Planet or Death, but I'm confident that Asylum's the worst Dalek story in TV. It has to be.
It's pretty bad.
Although, I mean, unless you count cameos, because then it would be Hellbent.
But that's not a Dalek story.
No, it's not.
I'm
sure that it's the worst. Like, it can't get worse than Asylum. It's shit.
It's pretty bad.
And on DWM, it's ranked up there with Dalek Invasion of Earth and Dalek's Master Plan and the Daleks and like the lower Hinchcliffe stuff, like Brain of Morbius. And
I have a question for people who like Series 11.
Yeah.
What is it that grips you about this series? Because I'm really genuinely interested. Like, because I'm getting nothing out of it. I want to see what it is that other people are seeing that or what it is that relates to them that they're getting out of it that makes them enjoy it so much. Because
outside of the stuff that we've already said, because obviously we like Graham enough.
Yeah, because I don't want to seem like I'm coming across like if you like the show then you're wrong. That's not absolutely not what I'm saying. It's just as we said at the beginning,
specifically the futuristic stories as well.
Yeah, as we were saying at the beginning of the preview that we did before episode 1 came out, we said when we did The Woman Who Fell to Earth, is if it continues like this, it's going to be competent, but it's not our Doctor Who. And for those people who are embracing it, what is it that's bringing you in?
I saw someone comment saying that we're just complaining about things that were already there.
But even elements that were already there, potentially, that are an issue here, they've been exemplified here because the stuff we like there is less of.
Is it because we went into Series 10 with low expectations and were surprised because it was actually quite good?
I think so. It might be.
Because I remember going into the pilot being like, eh.
Well, I was coming off Hellbent, so I was like angry. Like, even though it'd been 2 years, I was like, no, I'm still mad. But yes, please tell us what it is you like.
Fuck, they had the hiatus after Hellbent. Jesus Christ. If it had been like
6 months of.
Like, imagine if Series 10 came right after Hellbent. At least there was a gap there for you to wait.
I just got a horrible chill down my spine.
Yeah.
That's a daunting thought.
Yeah.
Anyway. Director Jennifer Parrott.
She was the same as the Saranga Conundrum.
She was much better here. Because she had a much better script to work with.
She didn't really have much to do in the Saranga Conundrum. She just had a bunch of corridors.
Yeah.
It did look good.
It was nice. It was nice looking.
Good, yeah.
It was more colourful than.
Yeah, the aesthetic was good. No, actually, I think she did a good job. She actually showed like what was going on a lot of the time. There's a shot I remember when Yaz was walking down. She looked through the thing and saw the robot. I thought that was good.
Yeah.
Some of the some of the tracking was good too. I think the direction was actually pretty good. It's just the dullness of the story.
Yeah, the story let down
but
everything.
Yeah, no, the direction was no, and also the outside looked really fake, which was great.
It looked like an artificial.
Like the grass was very green.
Yeah, so it looked like.
No, actually,
like
I thought this was good. The direction was good for this.
Yep, I agree. Music, Sega Nakanola.
I heard someone say that this was his weakest so far.
Saranga Conundrum was weaker.
I can't think because I can't actually remember what he did.
It's all the last 2 episodes by no fault of his own. It's just kind of been ambience, as opposed to.
What are you forgetting? Demons of the Punjab because that's in between.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Because that was amazing.
Yeah, Demons of the Punjab music was
like
incredible.
That was like the best one.
Yeah, that was extraordinary. Yeah, sorry, but yes, that's what I mean. Saranga Conundrum and this. It's stories when there's less for him to.
Someone said that they thought that. Oh, okay. This is coming. Okay. Coming from the perspective of someone who doesn't like Murray Gold, they thought that he was like Murray Gold in this, where his music was jarring what we were seeing. But I didn't really notice the music, so I don't know.
Neither did I. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're just not as into soundtracks as we are. Maybe I don't know.
Well, no, they are, but they just don't like Murray Gold.
Ah, that's fair enough. But I don't get the comparison in this episode because if this was Murray Gold, we'd know it.
When they're going down the slides into the room, I'm the doctor's playing.
Dun 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 dun.
I can just imagine when like all the things are popping and it's exploding. It's like.
I miss Series 3.
Well, that was a long time ago.
I know.
It was 11 years ago.
I miss it.
You know, Remembrance of the Daleks was 30 years ago?
What the fuck?
This year?
What the fuck? Whoa.
Mm.
Yep. But yeah, the music was like... I didn't really notice it. It was just kind of ambience in this episode. Viewership. 5.93 million overnight and 7.46 million final.
So it's around about what it was last week, maybe slightly higher.
Yeah, it's up a bit. Because Demons of the Punjab was a good episode, so it probably brought
Yeah,
a few.
because I think Seranga Conundrum really turned off some people. Yeah, I mean, I think this is sort of where Series 11 is going to sit on the mid-series slump.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to get lower than this, just because I think this series has some really good marketing.
And it's also, because there's only 2 episodes left, it's hard for it to make a drastic drop-off across 2 weeks.
Because the finale's coming in, everyone's going to watch the finale, so...
Yeah.
Well, maybe not everyone, because people will be like, well, fuck this series, but... yeah, I doubt it's going to go below this.
It's steady. It's fine.
Yeah, I think we know where this series is going to stand in terms of this viewership. It's just whether or not Series 12 will...
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, because if that could potentially go lower if they don't.
Because nowadays, not the hype around a new female Doctor. It's just people who...
And because, by the sound of it, it's going to be a bit of... it's going to be quite a long way away, and because the production got delayed, and there's rumours of a split series, and it just sounds...
Don't do that again.
It sounds like Series 7 all over again, and that's not a good thing. Because if it wasn't for this, if it wasn't for the 50th, fuck me.
Yeah. If it wasn't for the Of the Doctor quadrilogy, it'd be...
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the best things about Series 7 is Paul McGann.
Yeah, for sure.
And Mark Gatiss. Not just for the Crimson Horror, but for Avenger in Space and Time. And Cold War's not terrible.
It's just Dalek with an eyesore,
yeah,
but nowhere near as good, but still quite entertaining.
And the 80s Doctors for the 5-ish Doctors reboot, which is so much more captivating than anything from Series 7 meets. Like
my favourite cameo in all of the 50th stuff was Russell T Davies.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's Russell T. I'm the reason we're all here.
Oh, I love Russell.
And I love that scene where Moffat's playing with Tennant and Smith.
Yeah, that's very... I love how Moffat took the piss out of himself in that. That was very nice. Yeah,
I love how he calls his novelization a travesty.
Oh, man, I must seem like I hate Moffat. I don't. I really respect the man. I adore him, but...
We just hate some of his episodes.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah. We just disagree on things.
But he, as an interview, he's great.
He's so captivating.
Yeah. I'd love to have a sit down
Imagine,
with him.
Imagine if he told Chibnall, right, you can have the show running job if you make me the Doctor.
Well, I mean, Moffat doesn't like acting, so maybe he'll say, all right, you can have the job if you make Mark Gatiss the Doctor.
Mark would be a good Doctor.
He'd be like the McCoy of the modern era, where like no one like respects him, but like he's actually really good.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
Man, Mark Gatiss would be great.
Yeah. I want to see what Mark Gatiss's TARDIS looks like. It's just a whole row of John Pertwee jackets.
Yes.
You know John Pertwee's actual costume from Planet of the Daleks is in Twice Upon a Time.
Oh, wow.
In the regeneration scene.
That's so cool.
Because Mark Gatiss is like, wouldn't it be funny if I hung this up? And it's actually in shot.
That's so cool. I love Mark Gatiss. He's the best thing about Twice Upon a Time.
Yeah, he's great. Not just his character, but what he did behind the scenes.
Yeah, he's just the best.
I'm just going to bring John Pertwee's clothes from Planet of the Daleks and put it on this coat hanger.
And no one questioned it. Though, yeah.
Conclusion and rating out of 10. Should I go first or should you go?
I'll go first.
Yep.
Why do they get married? There's no chemistry. The only Doctor who really has romantic, believable chemistry with River's Song is Capaldi.
Yes. Because I guess Tennant didn't know it yet. So
exactly. Tennant could have done it, but like...
His chemistry's like, well, I don't know who you are.
Yeah, which is a great story. Anyway, my conclusion and rating out of a 10. Out of a 10? Out of a 10.
Out of a 10! Out of a 10!
He's good!
He's good!
You have oven you keep warm, your fridge you keep cool. He's good.
This episode is better than anything since... anything since 2010. Except maybe Heaven's End, but that's about it.
Oh, concentration camps. That's such a dark episode, man. Like, how did the most cheery character,
And then,
his ending is just getting sent to a concentration camp.
And then there's like Stephen Moffat in the Snowman. He's like, "Oh, look how dark Matt Smith is. He's sad,
and he's pretending to be Sherlock Holmes. Look how sad he is.
He's sitting in the TARDIS. He's got a new outfit. It's darker. He's sad."
After seeing Children of Earth, none of Matt Smith seems dark.
No. Oh man. And even some of Matt Smith is actually quite good. Like Town Called Mercy borders on brilliant.
I think it reaches it a few times.
Yeah, I think it does.
It's also criminally underrated.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem, again, similar to some of the episodes in Series 11, but definitely not as much, but A Town Called Mercy is brought down slightly by the Series 7 problematic format.
Yeah.
But, like, in a different era, A Town Called Mercy could have... I mean, fucking Tennant in A Town Called Mercy would have been just outstanding.
He just shoot him.
Yeah, we just shoot him.
My conclusion and rating out of 10.
Kerblam.
For Kerblam.
Yes.
Not for
Kerblam sounds like a great John Pertwee Big Finish story.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
John Pertwee Big
Rob
Finish.
Sherman writing John Pertwee and Patrick Troughton and William Hartnell.
Oh man. Oh man.
The stuff that dreams are made of.
Doctor, what do you want? Frobisher and John Pertwee. That's a pairing I'd love to see.
Talking penguin.
You know it, Doc. We've met before, but in your future. You look like Joseph in his Technicolor Dreamcoat. That's preposterous.
And you got fatter.
I have a tremendous sense of fashion. I don't know what you're talking about. Look at my frills. Vanessa Aikido.
You won't hurt me. Indeed I would. Now, you listen to me. Anyway, conclusion and rating out of 10 for Kerblam.
Kerblam is a fine episode, but again, it's just... I just cannot get anything out of Series 11. Like, there's a few isolated moments and stuff that are really good throughout this whole series, but Kerblam is just so run-of-the-mill, generic Doctor Who, being held back by this massive ceiling that's really low-hanging that Chibnall, as a showrunner, seems to have put on the writer room. Because it just...
Maybe not intentionally, he just fucked up.
Yeah, it doesn't... No, of course, it doesn't seem like he's intentionally wanting to hold them back. It just seems like the direction he has given them is just making it less of an episode. So it's not offensively bad, it's just mediocre. And best I can give it is a 6 out of 10. It's fine.
Yeah. Kerblam's an episode. First viewing, I was like... Oh yeah, I mean, concept's alright, yeah, I guess so. There's bits that really annoy me, there's bits that bore me, but there's bits that excite me slightly. I like the bubble wrap stuff. No, bubble wrap concept is great, and some of the visual elements I really like. But it's strange because most of the time when I see someone else, like, give a real positive review or something, sometimes I'll be like, okay, and I'll agree with them, and I'll move up my rating, right? But this has done the opposite effect. It's weird because people have praised this episode for reasons that I don't agree with. Therefore, this episode's gone down. And I've actually...
You contrarian little shit.
I'm not usually like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I agree with what people say, and I'm up my scores. But this time, I did the opposite. I don't know why, but... I think this episode is very overrated. And yeah, rewatching it just to confirm that for me. I think that this, again, like you said, is held down by the ceiling that is Series 11, and that's a shame because there's some great ideas in this. I thought the ending was really rushed, and that disappointed me big time, even on first viewing. Fuck. 6 out of 10, average Doctor Who.
I would do a preview of the Witchfinders, but I haven't seen it, and he has.
It's better than the Kerblam. It's better.
Man, that must have been a challenge. I don't mean to come across as so cynical. I know I've come across as like kind of a dick in this review, but it's just because I'm frustrated with Series 11.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be exceptional.
The annoying thing for me is I thought that I was gonna get annoyed at like SJW bullshit in this series, but I haven't. I've gotten annoyed because there's nothing. Like, I wish that I could complain about how much it's shoving feminism down my throat or something like that, or like racial equality, but it's not. It's really, really mild. Any sense of that. Like, the funniest thing is the BBC are attempting probably to inject some of that from their politics, and Chibnall is so mild that none of that even gets through.
Because the thing is, he presents these characters first before he presents them as a minority, right? But these characters have nothing there. That's the problem.
Yeah.
The problem isn't the fact that they're
So
diverse. In fact, diversity is a great thing. The problem is there's nothing there. Where's the character?
Yeah.
Where's the feistiness? Where's the combative arguments with the Doctor? Where's anything? Where's Wally? I want to know where Wally is.
What I'm basically trying to say is Chibnall has failed to write good Doctor Who, and he's also failed to write bad Doctor Who.
He's just... I don't know what's happened to my voice. Chibnall has...
See you in the Witchfinders video. Zap.